been stuck between what your community wants you to do and what you want to do? You want to compost, but they want you to recycle? It happens everywhere, even on native reserves. So that isn't really a huge conflict, but you kind of get the point. There are big differences between community expectations and individual expectations. In the novel, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian, written by Sherman Alexie, he demonstrates how the main character, Arnold Spirit, is very torn between what he wants to do and what his community wants him to do. Arnold Spirit is a native Indian who lives on a reserve. The reserves are governed by the Indian Acts. Reserves that also serve as residences are now referred to as Indian bands. Many reserves and bands are now referred to as First Nations. In 2011, 360,620 people lived on reserves in Canada. Out of that number, 324,780 people claim to be some form of Aboriginal identity. As you can see, it is a big deal to believe in your culture as a First Nation. That's where the first conflict in the book begins. The earliest reserves were established in the 1600s. Since then, fewer and fewer First Nations have lived a full life on the reserve. The living standard of Aboriginal people in Canada fall far short from the non-Aboriginals. The life expectancy is much lower. They have fewer high school graduates, higher employment, almost twice as many infant deaths, and more people go to jail. They have lower incomes, fewer promotions to enjoy, and as a group remain the poorest in Canada. That's exactly why Arnold left. He saw something in himself that he knew couldn't be released if he didn't leave the reserve. He didn't leave completely. He still lived there. He just switched schools to Reardon, which was in a white neighborhood. The community expected him to stay in the reserve, but as an individual, he made the decision to go because it was best for his future. Some would say that Arnold was being selfish, leaving the other First Nations in the dust, to leave because he thought he was better than them. False! Arnold thought long and hard before switching schools. He thought about his community, he thought about his education, and he definitely thought about his family. His family sacrificed so much for him to go to school 22 miles away from home, and they supported him throughout the whole time. And it paid off. Arnold went into school as an insecure, no-name native boy with no friends, but came out as a confident basketball star with tons of friends. So next time you want to do something, don't focus on what everybody else thinks. Screw society and do what's best for you.